Okay, so I'm supposed to do 25 and 1.3, which is about Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka? Wow.
Sri Lanka?
Sri Lanka,
Sri Lanka.
which is where my first roommate in college was from, actually. Ushan was from Sri Lanka. He was super confused when it started snowing, and then really excited, and then really sad when I told him when the snow was going to go away. That was in Duluth, Minnesota. So it was like November, snowed like 4 inches. He was jacked, just psyched. And then he goes, okay, so I'm bored of it now. When's it going away? Like, May. And he's like, no.
No.
It's like, sorry, man. All right, so Sri Lanka is an island that experienced approximately linear population growth from 1950 to 2000. On the other hand, Afghanistan was torn apart by warfare in the 80s and did not experience linear or near linear growth. Okay, cool. So what does that tell me?
Two functions.
That means one is almost a function of the line, and the other is totally not.
Yeah, so that tells me Sri Lanka's population went something like this, right?
That's if it was increasing, but yeah.
It said
Population
increasing.
growth.
Yeah.
Oh, no it didn't. Okay, I'm going to assume it was increasing because it
Well, it is,
probably
once you
was.
look at the table, you
This
Okay.
is growth, you assume.
And then Afghanistan's wasn't, right? So Afghanistan's probably looks like
Probably goes up and then down.
squiggly or something, right? Maybe like this. I don't know, but not aligned at any rate, okay? So then table 1.28 gives the population of these two countries in millions. Which of these two countries is A and which is B? Okay, so if I look at the table, I can check out the difference between each thing, right? So just summarizing my table here, I've got some cells, right? And in this one, there's country A, country B. What's this first increase here? From 1950 to 1960 in A.
8.2 to 9.8.
8.2 to 9.8 is an increase of
1.6.
plus 1.6, right? So that's in 10 years, right? We grew 1.6 million people.
Yeah.
You guys all on board with that? Okay, what's your next increase there? From 1960 to 1970?
Well, it goes from 1.6.
Goes from 9.8 to 12.4.
Right.
So that's an increase of
2.6.
3.6.
2.6. It's 2.6. I have a calculator.
I think it's 2.6. Right, because the 0.6 gets you to 10 point something, right? And then 2 more gets you up to 12. Okay, then your next one is what?
2.7.
Next one's 2.7.
That's like so true.
Yeah.
And the next one is
Down.
down 1.4.
No, just 0.4.
It's
From what to what?
Oh, it is just 0.4.
Yep.
should be negative.
14.1.
Okay.
Exactly.
So that's from 15.1 to 14.7, right? That was
Yeah.
definitely down. And then 14.7 to 23.9.
It's a very big increase of 9.2.
That's up 9.2.
That's insane.
Okay,
That's not linear.
insane.
that one's not linear,
Yeah.
right?
Very
So country A is Afghanistan. Should we check country B?
Process of elimination.
deductive reasoning.
Deductive reasoning would probably get you that country B is Sri Lanka, right?
But what if neither of them
They told me one of them was. But yeah, that's an option, right? Like they could have just copied the wrong 2 lines out of the table. Does that happen
were?
sometimes?
It happens.
Yeah. Like people generate these tables. They make mistakes sometimes. So it might be good to check it, but I'm not going to. And then what's the approximate rate of change of the linear function? What does the rate of change represent in practical terms? Well,
For the linear function?
Yeah, for the linear one. Oh, crud. That means I have to figure out the.
Oh, you actually have to, you can't just like generalize.
Okay, well, what are they? It goes up 2.4, then it goes up 2.6, then it goes up 2.4, then it's like 2.3. So like,
2.5,
what am I generally?
2.35.
Yeah, like 2.3 or 2.4. I'll probably just,
Sound good.
okay. I'm guessing, right? You should actually average those numbers if you want a good estimate.
2.2.
And what's that? That's 2.4 per
Yeah.
No, 10 years.
per 10 years.
Decade.
So that's 10.4 million. That's not how you spell million.
That's,
That is.
yeah, it was.
Is that how you spell million?
Yeah.
Lack of confidence. Okay, so I have 2.4 million per 10 years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're asking, what does that represent in practical terms?
Just 0.24 million every 1 year.
Population goes up
0.24 million
240,000
Yeah.
every year.
people
Oh,
per year,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like in practical terms, that means there's 240,000 more people kicking around every year.
Wow.
What does that mean?
Population's going, you're gonna have overpopulation eventually.
Okay, thanks for the pessimistic cue. Everyone's gonna starve to death eventually. Yeah, but that happens.
Is there anything, like, what did you mean by the question then?
What I meant was, practically, this means I need to find places for 240,000 people to live and to work, and
Yeah.
right? I need to anticipate that they're going to want something to eat.
Yeah.
Otherwise, yes, they will in fact starve to death,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So like, you need to have something like planned for this, right?
Yeah.
Especially if you're on a frickin' island, right? Because you can't like push into the corners. Okay, and then part C, estimate the population of Sri Lanka in 1988. Uh-oh. How do you do that?
Well, you take 88, subtract it from 50, you get, and it's divide that by 10, and then multiply that by 240,000.
Just subtract 480,000 from the population.
Yeah, that's probably easier. Go look at the population in 1990. It's 17.2, right?
Yeah,
So-
million.
In the 1990 column, there's a 17.2 here, right? If I want to get to 1988 from 1990, I need to go
2 years,
2 years back in time, right?
0.2.
So I should subtract off 240,000 twice,
Right.
Okay.
So
right? So your population
48.
in 1990
Subtract.
is 17.2 million
Divided.
minus 4.8. Oops, not 4.8.
It's
0.48 million. You guys all good with that? Does that kind of make sense? How else could you get there? Yeah, you could make an equation for this line and then plug in the value that would be associated with 1988. That would work. You'd get this. The other thing is you could approach from the other side, right?
Yeah.
You know the population in 1980, right? So you could go up
8.
this times 8.
Right.
You guys see that?
Mhm.
Probably get about the same thing. Maybe not exactly the same thing. Why maybe not exactly the same thing?
It says almost linear, not actually linear.
Yeah, because I said, well, this means the population looks like this, right?
Yeah.
But the population might look like dot, 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 dot,
Right.
right?
Right.
Like, do those dots approximately look like this?
So linear regression.
Yeah, for sure. Are they exactly this?
No.
No. It's a model, right? It's going to have some difficulties. You're not going to get down to the exact number of people. You might get close, right? You guys see that? Questions, things? This is one thing you should keep in mind when you're doing math in science class. Yeah. Right? There's always going to be some like measurement error and model error. So you're always going to be approximating the answer, not getting exactly the answer. Does that make sense? The only place you get exactly the answer is in here. Cool? Questions, Steele? Okay.